Hello, and welcome back to Learn the Bible in a Year for April 6th, 2026. Today is National Caramel Popcorn Day, so if you need an excuse to eat a snack that gets stuck in your teeth for the next 3 days, well, today's your day. Today we're going to be covering Moses' warning the Israelites about idolatry, Jesus' teaching on persistent prayer, and a call to listen to wisdom. So let's jump right in. All right, so diving into our Old Testament reading, we are still in Moses' long sermon to the Israelites before they enter the Promised Land. And today he's giving them a very stern warning about how they worship. Moses starts by reminding the people about the day that God spoke to them out of the fire at Mount Sinai. He points out a very specific detail. They heard a voice, but they didn't see a form. Because they didn't see a form, Moses warns them not to make any carved images or idols to represent God. Not a man, not a woman, not an animal, and definitely not the sun, moon, or stars. Now, a question you might have here is, why is God so strict about this? It's not just that he hates art in this case. The Hebrew word here is the word form or likeness. This means a shape or embodiment. In ancient Near Eastern cultures, every other nation had physical statues of their gods. They believed that by controlling the image, they could somehow manipulate or control the deity. And God is making it clear that he cannot be contained, managed, or reduced to a piece of wood or stone, because he is transcendent. Moses then moves into a recap of the Ten Commandments, reminding this new generation of the covenant God made with them. He emphasizes that this covenant isn't just for their parents who died in the wilderness, it's for them right here and right now. He wants them to understand that their relationship with God is based on his rescue of them from Egypt, not their own goodness. Their obedience to these commands is supposed to be a response of love and gratitude, not a way to earn his favor. A pretty straightforward learning today in the Old Testament, so now let's jump right into the New Testament. We are in Luke, and Jesus has just finished teaching his disciples the Lord's Prayer, and he now follows it up with a story about how we should approach God when asking for things. Jesus tells a story about a guy who goes to his friend's house at midnight and asks for some bread because he has an unexpected guest coming. The friend is already in bed and doesn't want to get up, but because the guy keeps knocking and won't leave him alone, he finally gets up and gives some bread to him. Jesus uses this to teach us how about prayer. He says that we should ask, seek, and knock. The original Greek word for ask is the word aiteo, aiteo, and seek, which is zeteo, zeteo. And these words insinuate continuous action, not just an ask one and give up type of word. These are keep on asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking type of words. Now, he's not saying God is like a grumpy neighbor who doesn't want to help us either. He's arguing from the lesser to the greater. If a grumpy neighbor who doesn't want to get up will eventually, if you keep asking, how much more will your perfect, loving Father in heaven give you what you need? Jesus then deals with some critics who accuse him of driving out demons in the power of Satan. He points out how totally illogical this is. Why would Satan destroy his own kingdom? He makes it clear that his ability to cast out demons is proof of the kingdom of God and how it's arrived. He is the stronger man who has come to tie up the strong man and rescue the captives. Alrighty, we got a little bit of reading to do in Proverbs, and it goes like this. Then now, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instructions and be wise. Do not disregard it. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily my doors, waiting at my doorway. For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. But those who fail to find me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. Alrighty, just a quick word from our sponsors here. This show has been brought to you by Good Leads. Now, full disclosure, Good Leads is a company that I own, and we provide outbound leads to medium-sized B2C businesses. Good Leads is dedicated to helping businesses maximize business revenue while decreasing marketing costs. To find out more, click the link in the show notes to see if your business qualifies. This show has also been brought to you by Covenant Security Equipment, which is a Christian-owned company that sells everything home and business security. Safety windows, doors, walls, safes, you name it. To find out more, go to covenantsecurityequipment.com. com. All right. What was your main takeaway from today's reading? My main takeaway today was actually from what we read in the Old Testament, talking about not making an image for God. Kind of always wondered about this. Like, God seems to be really obsessed with this idea of not making some sort of an image or a statue like an idol um, for him, or obviously it's not good to worship an idol. That's not him either. But this is a big deal to him, and just going through it today and remembering that God can't be contained, and we can't reduce God back down to some animal or some statue or some sort of a thing. I think is really important. It's really valuable to understand that God is not like us or anything that we see here on this earth. I think it's very easy for us to think about God and think about, well, God's kind of like us. He's just like the Superman version of us. And that's not the case at all. God is totally, totally different from us. His majesty far, far, far exceeds anything we could ever understand. So we shouldn't make a statue of him because where would we even begin? Right? So that was my main takeaway from today's reading. What was your main takeaway? I'd be curious to know. Put something down in the comment section wherever you're listening to this podcast, and I'll read it and respond if I can. Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see all of you cool cats again here tomorrow.